There is Jean Pascal. Jean, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. You?
Not too bad, not too bad. Hey, first of all, how are you and your family during these rather difficult times of the coronavirus pandemic? Are you okay? Is everyone that you know doing safe and sound?
Yeah, everybody is safe on my side. I'm very happy. Right now during the pandemic, see, everybody have to be patient. We have to be patient. We are about to resolve that problem pretty soon, I think. And me, I'm trying to stay in shape. I'm working out in my home gym, and I'm staying ready.
So you've been working out in your home gym, staying in shape. I don't think I've ever seen you out of shape in my life, for that matter.
No, every time I show up, I'm always in shape because I don't cheat the fans because I'm a crowd pleaser. The fans, they were always there for me, so I will always be there for my fans. So if we don't train, you cheat the fans. So I'm not a cheater. So every time that I show up, I'm always tip-top shape.
And where are you currently, Jean? I know that you're very well off in life and can literally spend your time in quarantine wherever you want, all over the world. But where are you currently at? Are you in Canada right now?
Yeah, right now I'm home. I'm working out in my home gym. In my gym, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm very happy. But I work very hard for everything that I have. The quarantine for me, it doesn't matter because I'm used to stay home. I have a home gym. I have my movie theater downstairs. So, I have my pool. So I'm okay.
So you're good. You're like, okay, this is kind of business as usual for me.
Exactly. It's business as usual. The only thing, it's not, I'm using my gym because lately I wasn't really using my gym because I work hard at the boxing gym. So when I get home, I want to rest. But now that I can't go to the boxing gym, so my home gym is really helpful.
Jean, have you heard about when you might return to the ring? We're hearing some things that are just casually being floated out and about boxing returning, but have you heard any date or a timetable as to when you might be inside the ring?
Right now, I have no clue. I don't know yet. I'm very lucky that I fought at the end of last year in December. So, I'll be ready. Say whenever the phone ring, I'll pick up and I'll be ready because I'm staying in shape. I'm working out like 2-3 times a week, to stay. I have a minimum of shape. Whenever I start my training camp. So honestly, I hope I'm gonna fight at least once this year. So I'm trying to stay in shape, but right now I have no clue.
Let's go back to that fight with Badou Jack. For those that don't remember, it's been a little while, but that fight week happened during Christmas week for all of us. What was that like for you to be able to, balance, the whole, I know that, you're a family man and you're very close with your family, but going ahead and dealing with the holiday along with fighting towards the end of the year. What was that like?
Honestly, it was okay. I'm used to fight around that time, in January, March. So, I'm used to be in camp for Christmas. But last year, Christmas came 3 days later when I won, when I retained my title of services Badou Jack. So Christmas just came 3 days later for me.
Who would you want to fight next? That we've heard reports about, that Badou Jack wants a rematch with you. Another man who wants a rematch with you is Marcus Brown. I feel like you are being called out every which way. If you had your choice, who would you want to fight? And how do you respond to these gentlemen calling you out?
Honestly, I'm very happy and lucky to be in that position. But, I worked my luck. Like you said, everybody wants to have a rematch with me. Marcus Brown, Badou Jack, Bialy, even Bivol, after I won my world title, he said, let's make a rematch. And like I said, everybody wants to have a rematch with me because I think I'm the cash cow of the division. I'm still the cash cow of the division. Like I said, I don't mind. If it's up to me, I'll fight whoever the fans pick, you know. Whoever the fan picks, I will fight them because I'm a crowd pleaser. I love to please the crowd. So, like I said, me, I don't care. I'll be ready for Badou Jack, Marcus Brown, Bialy, and even like if Canelo wants to make history once again because he made it a few times, but if he wants to regain a second title in light heavyweight division, I'm right here for me because I know for a fact his style with my style in the ring, that's going to be fireworks.
So you're saying that you would put your title on the line or that you would have no problem fighting Canelo Alvarez?
Exactly, because Canelo right now is at the top 3 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. You know me, I love challenges. I love to take risks. It will be a great challenge for me, a great risk, as a good risk for Canelo. But at the end of the day, we want to make history because when we leave planet Earth, we want to be remember. So it's a good way, it's the best way to be remembered is to make history.
Now, Jean, going ahead and looking back at your recent, I would have to say a resurgence because we were with you in December of 2017 down in Hialeah, Florida, prior to your fight with Ahmed Albiali, who has called you out once again. Prior to that fight, you told me, win or lose, this is it for me. I am done as a prize fighter. After that victory, which you were an underdog heading into that fight, what changed for you that said, okay, maybe I can give one last run in regards to being a prize fighter?
Honestly, like my last 3 fights or 4 fights, I've been the underdog. This is the story of my life. Every time I fight a PBC fighter, I was the underdog. When I fought Marcus Brown, I was the underdog. When I fought Ahmed Bialy, I was the underdog. When I even fought Badou Jack, I was the underdog. So for me, to be the underdog is the story of my life. Honestly, what was your question again?
No, I said, well, what changed? Heading into the fight with Ahmed Albiali in December of 2017, you told me in the fighter meetings, this is it, win or lose.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done. But what changed?
Because what changed is I was kind of like tired of to be the underdog because I know my worth. But at the end of that fight, it was clear to stay retired. But, at the end of the day, I said, Jean, you still have some gas in the tank. And, after my boxing career, I didn't want to have no regret. Like, if I shouldn't continue, if I would do this and that. So that's why I returned to the boxing game because I wanted to live. Say, when I leave the sport, I'll do everything. And like that, I know I will leave no regrets behind me.
So that's why you decided to come back because you felt you still had something left in the tank.
Exactly.
Do you feel like you have once again found your love for boxing? I know that you've mentioned on your social media that, it is, preparing for a fight, it's work. It takes a lot of discipline, training. How do you feel now when it comes to your training camps? Because it's obvious you enjoy when the bell rings and the press conferences. I've been with you at press conferences, the weigh-ins, the fight. But do you still enjoy training camps?
Definitely. That's the fun part for me. To be under the lights at the fight, this is the hard part. This is the pressure part. The training camp, you get in shape. You get a nice body, you get a nice cardio, so it's fun. You see that every time that you work, you see, you put some back in the row, in the work. So every time that I train, I feel like relief. There's no stress because at that stage of the career, I know how to train. Now it's not about like the quantity. It's about the quality. So because I have a lot of experience, I know how to train properly to be better and to have a long longevity in the sport. So yes, I do enjoy my training camp. This is the fun part for me. It's when I get in camp, So when I get in camp, I leave everything behind me. I leave all my problems. Like I leave everything. It's only boxing. I eat, I sleep, and I box. And
so it's a release for you.
Exactly. This is the fun part for me.
Have you thought about how long you're going to be 38 this year? You've been a pro since 2005, over a 15-year pro. Have you thought about how long you have left being a prize fighter, or is it a case-by-case basis?
Honestly, I don't really know. I don't put a certain time or certain period. Right now, I'm going case by case. So look at that Bernard Hopkins. He went until I think 46 or 48. Like me, like I said, I'm gonna take one fight at a time. But right now, I still have plenty of gas in the tank, and I want to empty the tank. But one thing though, I won't let boxing retire me. I'm going to retire from boxing with my own turn.
So you are not going to be one of those that holds on and suffers, 3 or 4 fights that you've lost in a row to end your career?
Not really, because most of the boxers doing that because sometimes they need money, they need that. But I don't really need money. It's always fun to have more money, I'm not dumb. But, at a certain point, you need to consider your legacy. You need to consider your health as well. So, like I said, boxing will not retire Jean Pascal. I will retire it from boxing, and I will retire it with my own terms, on my own terms.
Well, now with the coronavirus that has happened, we are going to be dealing in a brand new world, John, and it appears as though fighting and boxing is going to return, but at the beginning with no fans in the arena. What are your thoughts on fighting in an empty arena with just a television audience?
Honestly, it might be a little bit weird for the fans or for the young boxer, but for a guy like of my caliber, it's fine, I've been doing sparring all my life with no fans. They were only like my coaches and few guys in the gym. So if I need to do that, I'll do it. So I'm gonna take the approach that it's a sparring session, but a sparring session who counts. But I'm still gonna have the championship mentality because I know millions of people are gonna watch it on TV, so I need to show up. But I don't think a boxer of my caliber is gonna be a big deal, But maybe for the younger fighters, if you just started in the boxing game and stuff like that, it might be difficult for you. But for a guy like me, I don't think it's gonna change something.
Almost like having laser vision inside the ring and stuff. What we hear from fighters, maybe you can attest to this, is once you get in the ring, I hear a lot of fighters, with the exception of their coaches, they tune everything else out. Is that the same case for you?
Definitely, but like I said, that's gonna be good for those kind of boxers because you're gonna be able to focus more, to listen to your coaches more. So there's no bad nurses like that. So it might be good for that. Also, it might be good for the fighter gym. Fighters some fighters, they're always good in the sparring session, but when the lights are on, they just freeze, So for those kind of boxers, it's gonna be good. Some boxers, they need to be to have the show time, to have the lights on and stuff like that. But there's a lot of fighters that I know they're pretty good in the sparring, they're pretty good in the gym. But when the camera's on, they just freeze. So that might help them.
So you're saying that for fighters that are that there are some fighters that are notoriously good sparring partners and gym fighters, that this might be a blessing in disguise because what you're saying is that some kind of fall to the pressure of the fans and a lot of the attention, whereas now with no fans in the arena, that might benefit them. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, definitely. And I think maybe because of that pandemic, we might see new superstars.
So new blood might be infused into the top of the, of boxing.
Exactly.
Well, Jean, a couple of fans before you got on, they wanted me to ask you this from the comment section: is what was your toughest fight of your career? You fought the likes of Bernard Hopkins, Sergey Kovalev, Andre Diakonou, Carl Froch, you beat Lucien Bute. What was your most difficult fight?
Honestly, I think my most difficult fight was versus Carl Froch because first I had no experience. It was my first World Championships fight. I crossed the pound. I went overseas. I went all the way to Nottingham. It's about like 2 or 3 hours from London. I was young. I was green. I think at the time I was maybe 25. And Carl Froch was a solid fighter. I think he's been underestimated. And like Carl Froch had rocks in his hands. But that was a great fight. Honestly, I think that was a very good fight, a close fight. But I was in Nottingham, so he had the home term advantage. But like I said, he won the fight across the line. But afterwards, I said, you know what? If I can stick with this guy who just fought German Taylor and one knockout German Taylor, I can become world champion one day. And not like 2 years after, 6 months later, I became world champion in June 19th, 2009. So that was my toughest fight, but that's the fight that made me. That fight made Jean Pascal. That fight told me that I had the potential, I had the guts, and I'm solid enough to become world champion.
Do you feel it's unfair that you mentioned that fight against Froch was a blessing in disguise? It was your first loss of your career. I feel that too many times in boxing especially, we write off fighters when they have one loss or two losses. Why do you think that's the case, John?
Like, Roger Mayweather love to say is because people doesn't know shit about boxing. That's why, people think because you lose one fight, you like past 30 or 35, you no good no more. But nobody will know when the time is to retire beside yourself, because you know yourself, you know if you have gas in your tank. So people like to manage people from Twitter, social media, and stuff like that. But you need to be solid to be a fighter, and it's not like anyone who can be a fighter, because like we all know, we can play hockey, we can play baseball, we can play football, but we cannot play boxing, because boxing is not a game. So people like to write off boxer just like that because they don't know shit about boxing.
Well, let's talk about your boxing, John. Stylistically, how have you evolved? Because, I'm very curious to see when you're in the ring about when you decide to come forward and be aggressive, or when you are waiting for that big shot. And what I'm talking about is your fight against Marcus Brown, where he came out aggressive and he started to gain his confidence and stay in the pocket longer. And then you caught him with a big shot, and it totally changed the complexity of the fight. How do you remain patient when someone is coming forward, being aggressive, gaining success on you, but then you wait, hold back, and then bang, totally change the complexity of the fight?
You know why? Because I'm a gambler, but not in real life, though. I only gamble in the ring, I'm a risk taker. I love to take risks. I love to gamble in the ring. So that's why I think the love fans love me as well, because I take risks, So I know sometimes it's risky, but I believe in myself. I believe in my skills. So that's why I can afford to take those kind of risks. It's not like any fighters can take those kind of risks. And, also I'm a bright fighter, I have a lot of experience right now. So I know how to pace and manage myself in the ring.
Have you ever gone back to your corner during these fights and your trainers are like, John, what are you doing? You're probably, and in your mind, you're like, guys, I got this. We're okay here. Have you ever had any experiences like that?
Yeah, definitely. Like Rocky versus Drago, Rocky versus Apollo. He was staying in the ropes, taking the punches and stuff like that. He was coming back to his corner. His corner was screaming, and he said, "No, I know what I'm doing." That's exactly what I did versus Lucien Bute. In the last round, I was taking punches, but I was trying to tire him off, to try to finish stronger. So like I said, I have a lot of experience right now. I know what I'm doing. Even that I love the gamble. Everything that I do in the ring is calculated. It's calculated. So,
Jean, what is your thoughts on the rest of the light heavyweight division? You have, Better Biev out there, obviously. Who knows what Canelo's going to do. But, you mentioned, we talked about Badou Jack, Marcus Braun, Bivol. But right now, what is your consensus on the rest of the top guys at 175?
But like I said, I was super happy that Canelo moved up to 175 because I think I was the perfect matchup for him to make a good fight. He went down to 168. I'm fine with that as well. But if he wants to move up again and remake history once again, I'm right here. Our style's gonna be like fireworks in the ring. For the rest of the guys, of the boxer in the division, like I said, Bivol is a great fighter. He used to be my sparring partner when I fought Sergey Kovalev, and I told Freddie Roach, so I didn't know this guy. He had at the time maybe 3 pro fight, and I told Freddie Roach, I don't know this Russian, but he's gonna be world champion one day. And 1 year, 2 years later, he became world champion. So and like I said, Marcus Braun is a skillful fighter, but in boxing, it's not all about skills. You need to have the heart, the guts, the chin, and also the skills. But if you only have the skills, you won't go to the top. If you go to the top, you won't stay long, because you need to be tough to be a boxer. Like boxers, they're like soldiers, because when you go to war, you don't know what's gonna happen, and you don't know if you're gonna come back. Boxing, the same thing. When you step into the ring, you don't know what's gonna happen, and you don't know if you're gonna come back from the fight.
Well, Jean, I know that in Canada you are, the fans love your style. They have embraced you originally from Haiti.
Give me 1 second, please.
Yeah, no problem. Joined alongside by Jean Pascal here on Instagram Live. We are here 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific time. And once again with Jean Pascal. But Jean, you are loved in Canada by the fans. You've lived there since you were a little boy, originally from Haiti. But can you tell us about the response and the love that you get? You mentioned that you feel you are the cash cow of the light heavyweight division. Is that because of, the Canadian pay-per-view revenue that, you generate when you decide to fight and step inside the ring?
Yeah, definitely. Like my fans, I love all the fans across the world. But my fans, I really thank my fans in Quebec. They are the best because they've been supporting me since day one. Like even Bernard Hopkins wanted to fight in Montreal instead to fight in Philly or in Vegas because he knew we can sold out the place, the pay-per-view is gonna be good for us, so it's more money for them. So like I said, it's a blessing in the sky for me. I'm very, very fortunate to live in the best country in the world. Sorry, guys. America is not the best country in the world. Canada is the best country in the world.
Oh, we'd have to debate that, John, but we're not going to go back and
forth. I'm telling you, Canada the best. We peaceful. Everybody love us. We have we don't go to war. So that's why I'm saying I'm very fortunate to live in this country. I'm very fortunate to have those kind of fans. I still love all my fans around the world, but because I live in Canada, I'm the best fighter in the 21st century in my country. Like Floyd Mayweather said, TBE, but me, I'm TBE in Canada. So I'm very happy about that.
Jean, also, as we go ahead, and we appreciate you joining us, but, let's talk a little bit about, fighting with Premier Boxing Champions. What has that meant for you? You have been all over the world and have fought under a variety of different promotions and promoters. But what does it mean for you to be a part of the Premier Boxing Champions family?
Honestly, I'm very honored to be part of this family. This is the best family in boxing world right now. I want to thank Al Amin for his job. Al Amin, this guy is a genius. He's a boxing genius, but he's a genius in general as well. I want to thank as well my boxing advisor, Greg Leon, because he's doing a tremendous job with my career. It's been 11 years that I've been in the highest level in the game. Yes, because of my skill, but because of Greg Leon, because you know how to make good contract, you know how to protect me as well. So Greg is doing a lot of job. So Greg Leon, I love you. It's like a brother to me. Thank you. I want to thank, like I said, Hal Amen. It's because of him that now I'm part of the big PBC family, Premier Boxing. And, I just want to honor them, to make good show, good fight, and I want to stay on top and also retire on top.
Well, also, John, I know that you have quite an extensive car collection, as we see on Instagram. Of all of that, how much does that, motivate you and say, hey, I can go out and get another toy? And what's your favorite kind of car that you like?
But honestly, the tours, yes, it's fun, but that's not the motivation for me. The motivation for me is to still able to inspire people, to motivate people, because if I can do it, you can do it as well. So, I'm very happy. I'm fortunate to be able to be in the position to be able to inspire people, to motivate people. And this is why I still want to keep doing what I'm doing right now, to make fights, to make great fights, to inspire people. Because like I said, people wrote me off so many times and I'm still here, like I said. So if you believe in yourself, you work hard, and you persevere, anything is possible.
Is it interesting because you mentioned that you fought Froch at 25 years of age? Now at 37, you are one of the OGs in the light heavyweight division and in boxing. How is that in terms of coming full circle?
Honestly, I never thought I would have said that once in my life, but I'm the new Bernard Hopkins. I'm the new Bernard Hopkins of this era. And like I said, I used to hate Bernard so much that, I never thought I would be proud to say that. But Bernard Hopkins made a great career. He's a legend. And, I just want to have a great legacy and become a legend myself.
Well, he must have been like fighting a Rubik's Cube because, we hear, constantly he's always thinking in there, everything else, and has those veteran-like tactics. Do you now use some veteran tactics in the ring that you didn't when you were in your early 20s, in your mid-20s, that now you're able to employ during your fighting style?
Definitely. Unfortunately, I won't be able to disclose you those tactics.
Well, obviously not.
But definitely. And one thing that I noticed as well is those tactics can work with young fighters, but they won't work like guys like Badu because they're veteran as well. So because that's why experience counts a lot in boxing. So I know those kind of tactics, I can use it with young fighters, but fighters like myself, veteran like me, that won't work because they know it.
Do you feel that old school mentality is being lost on the newer generation? Because I feel like, in your generation and you and Badu, you learn those tricks of the trade and you use them. But I feel now with younger fighters as they get older that they don't necessarily use those old school tricks, so to speak.
Honestly, I don't know, because it's very hard to say, because maybe they're too young to use those kind of tricks. I think we need to wait a little bit more in the career to see if they're gonna be able to do those kind of tricks. Because when you're young, you think you're invincible, you think the world is for you, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I was like that myself. Like I said, at the beginning of my career, I didn't want to be the best boxer in the world. I wanted to be the best boxer in the galaxy. So in case the Martian comes, I'll be right here for them. But like I said, I think we still have to wait just a little bit more to see that from them.
And finally, Jean, what do you want to tell all your fans and those that are watching all over the world as we continue to deal with this pandemic of the coronavirus? We hope to see you back inside the ring sooner rather than later.
Definitely, I want to be back sooner than later, but I really think that if we respect like all the rules, stay inside, social distancing, stuff like that, we are about to knock out this pandemic, that virus, the coronavirus. And like I said, whenever the call rings, I'll be ready. So thank you guys. I love you. And you can follow me on my IG page, Jean Pascal Chen.
Thank you very much, Jean. Greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you in the very near future.
Thank you. Salute.